In the section of listening and analysis, I mentioned about asking questions. So if you are unsure about the meaning of a phrase or a particular passage in a speech, you may ask questions to the speaker when he or she finished speaking, of course. And so there are some cautions. The first one is that you need to consider whether it's a good idea to ask a question. You need to weigh up the pros and cons before you're asking the question. Next, you decide to question. You need to consider about the phrasing of that question. You need to try to ask the very concise and clear questions. Avoid the vague ones, like something, for example, excuse me, what can you repeat what you said after mentioning nuclear becoming popular in Germany? So if you ask that question, you may receive the very vague answer too, and that does not help you to better your interpretation. So there are some factors you need to consider. The first one, are you likely to understand the answer any better? The second round. Next, is it really important to check a particular fact? If you do that, are you likely to draw the attention to your own than other could see? Because in doing that correction, it may lose you the confidence of your audience. Then, the best question to ask is very precise and clear, and it seeks to obtain a particular piece of information. For example, a typical example would be checking for figures or perhaps checking for names. But do use this technique with caution, because if you ask very obvious questions like, excuse me, what is the name of the President of the United States? You may risk exposing to the glaring gaps, or you may lose the credibility of your audience. So there's good and bad question to ask.